Hey guys, so I've been asked for like the fifth or sixth time now my opinion on the John Gruden thing, by people I didn't actually expect to ask me the question, and so I've been debating on whether or not I was going to talk about this bigger picture for a while, for a couple of days now, and I put it on the back shelf, and then since I was just asked again, I was like, let me drop a thought or two uh, on this. Maybe somebody will actually take a moment to hear what I'm saying, hear my thoughts on this. So in case you guys don't know, most of you guys should. I'm a diehard Raider fan. I only have one football team, and that is the Raiders. I don't have this is my other team. I'm a Raiders fan. I am a huge fan of John Gruden. I love the guy as a coach. I loved him before. As a coach, I love that we brought him back, the moniker, the Chucky thing, and all that. I love that. Right? That being said, what he had done, what he was accused of, what the things that came out that he had done, he needed to be let go. He needed to not be the head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders. And the reason is, and even though that was 10 plus years ago, the reason is because what he said and what he did and the power and the position of leadership, it is not conducive with leadership. When we have leaders who use racist idioms, China flu, right? Things like that, you're not being a leader, and you're alienating parts of the people who work for you, look up for you, and look for guidance from you. So he had to go. Now, that being said, I think we have a problem in this country and in the world in general, but in this country for sure, where we can't differentiate between. Sorry, I have a eyelash that's out of place. How annoying that is. We don't differentiate, or we can't differentiate between an act and action. So that's actually what I want to talk about real quick. Hopefully, real quick. We have to start understanding that, one, people say things in a moment or do things in a moment that are made to harm others. Whether, if I'm upset, the things I say when I'm upset, and we like to say people will tell you about their true self when they're mad. That can be true and also not true, right? When we're upset, when we're angry, for whatever reason, it doesn't have to be a logical reason, our goal is to stop whatever's making us mad, to stop, or to hurt it like it hurt us, whether it's a physical reaction or a verbal reaction. Which is why you see somebody who may say a racist term to someone when they're angry, and we get all these videos, and you go, oh my God, that person's a racist. And they're going, no, I've never done this. And because their act was to harm that person, right? When we, as a male, if I wanted to harm a woman, a female, who I'm angry with or whatever, I call her a B, the B word, right? Actually, I'm gonna say, I'll call her a bitch, right? Most women hate that. They don't, so if I'm really angry with someone, like you, and maybe I call her stupid. You stupid, da da da. That doesn't mean I'm sexist. That doesn't mean that I hate women. That doesn't mean any of that. That means in that moment I said something harmful and hurtful, and I have to deal with that. And that's the problem. We don't, I still have to deal with that. No matter what happens. If I did it 1 time, 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, I have to deal with the ramifications of my act. Now, there's a difference between act and action. Some people, when you do something over and over again, when you show that it is something that is you, when you use racist terms, when you use homophobic slurs, when you are just hurtful to people, abusive. Let's say you slap somebody, as a woman slaps her man, right? She may do that in one time, and then she needs to deal with that, her reaction and that act, and then she needs to be able to work it out. But she keeps doing it, and then you call her violent and an abuser, right? Because that action is no longer an act; it's an action, right? Coach Gruden had an action, and he's shown that that it was part of his makeup to do those things. But here's the other thing about this: whether it's an act or an action, we are selective in our condemnation of people. We don't seem to condemn those who stand on our side if they believe what we believe. Again, the person who used Kung Flu, I've had friends who are followers of certain religions who stood behind that person and didn't seem to care because that person had a photo out with a Bible. Now look at that good Christian. Look at that good Catholic. Look at that good whatever religion we want to add to it. But we say that, we do that, right? We don't condemn those on our side, and we don't demand that transparency comes out, right? Coach John Gruden I think I saw somewhere like 605,000 emails that were here on this thing, and the only ones that got leaked was Coach Gruden's. Now, where's all the enablers? Where's all the people who never said a thing? Where's all the people who didn't do something? Right? Yes, now we want transparency. I don't want Coach Gruden just going down. Just like you have right now, we have in our legislative branch where they're looking at the January 6th situation, right? They want to know everyone who understood what was going on because it was an act of terror against our country. We want transparency. But we have to ask and we have to command it, we have to demand it for everyone. Especially those who are on our side. Those who follow what we believe. You know what I'm saying? I am pissed off if I see somebody who is like, yeah, Black Lives Matter, and then celebrate, the random murdering of a police officer or hush and quiet when it's a black on black crime. No. Condemn the same side. Right? There's a difference between act and action. And there's a difference in how we have put these things out and how we have responded to them. I don't think people need to be fired because they did something, they made a mistake. We have to allow people. Darren Waller, Raiders wide receiver Darren Waller said, we have to give people a chance to make amends, to fix what they've done. Sometimes what they've done is so egregious that they can't. They can't make amends in that situation, but they can learn and grow. That's what we need to start differentiating between the act and the action. An act, we need to be able to say, you made a mistake, here's your punishment for that mistake, but let's get you back up and get you back into whatever it is you do and you do best. And take this as a learning experience. An action takes more work, but still the same thing applies, right? How do we grow if we never allow someone to make the mistakes and do the things and then show that they learn from it? We don't. And we don't grow when we are selective in our condemnation of people who do things in this fashion, right? If someone we find it funny, if someone we like does something that someone we don't like, or someone we don't like does, we're hypocrites. And we don't fix this until we realize that our hypocrisy is the problem. But not everything is worth someone's career, someone's life. And I'm not talking about Coach Gruden. Coach Gruden deserved to lose his job. I don't know. I mean, I've been talking about this forever, but I don't know where we go from here. But it is a good time to start to sit back and have the discussion. What's an act and what's an action? That's my kind of thoughts. It's like 10 minutes. All right, that's my thoughts on that a little bit. So be kind to each other, to yourself and each other, right? We don't fix the world unless we are looking at ourselves first before we look at others. All right. So that's me. That's Sean from Sean's-thoughts.com. Let me.